The schema works for good and for bad. But you have to use your powers to truncate the bad. Interesting, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Allegra.
Okay, we're back. So zooming out a little bit and talking about humans, I saw in one of your lectures, or in the panel at Bard, you mentioned in your book that in order to crack the code to everything, we have to look inside of our souls.
Right.
Now, and that's our responsibility to strive towards our greatest potential and find meaning in life. However, doesn't that imply if we have to look into our souls to find meaning and to understand the existence as it is, why weren't we imbued also with the ability to actually understand it? Why are we still trying to find the answers to these questions?
So those psychologists at one of my lectures, one of my give and takes, her name was Sally Ulshan. She's deceased, right? A psychologist in Great Neck. A very talented woman. She actually made the evening happen. And she asked that question. After the discussion, she said, why don't we, she said, I've been thinking about why don't we know about it? According to you, it's all pervasive. It's a simultaneous solution. So why don't we know about it? That's your question, right? Sort of?
So you're implying that in order to understand everything, we have to look inside ourselves, and that's implying that somehow we have this innate understanding that is in ourselves. It's in there. Like Noam Chomsky, you have universal grammar.
Right.
You already have the capacity for language when you're born. You just have to understand the syntax of your native language. So if that's already in there, then whatever force or being put it in there, why didn't it also make us able to actually access it?
So Sally asked the question, and she answered the question. She said, for some reason, it did not want us to know until now. For some reason, Quest Potential did not want us to be aware of it until now. She asked the question, and she addressed it. And so I thought about her answer, right? So it's possible until now it might have been too frustrating. Meaning, now we have the lingo, we have more tools about the whole thing. 200 years ago, we didn't have the lingo, we didn't have the tools. I don't know the simple answer, but I have to sort of agree with her that for some reason Quest for Potential did not want us to be attuned to it. Now, listen, in the book of Exodus, called Shemot in Hebrew, Moses encounters the burning bush. It's all directly related. And this is 1250 BCE. So it's 3,250 years ago. Moses, the burning bush, who are you? Burning bush says, I am who I am. I'm sorry, I will be who I will be. I will be that which I will be. What does that mean? What the hell does that mean? So I say it means, I am the God of potential. But it's cloaked. It's cloaked at that time. And even there's a mandate for Jews to relate the saga of Exodus every year, and they do it, and they tend to gloss over that one little sub-piece. You with me so far? About the burning bush. Okay, I will be that which I will be. Well, but in relation to your question, here we go. It was cloaked but it plants the seeds for you to come up with the epiphany 3,250 years later, that I'm the God of potential. You follow what I'm saying? That they weren't ready yet for that level of consciousness. It requires a level of consciousness to sort of hook into this, or else it just gets past you. What are you talking about? Like, it's too ephemeral. It's too abstract. So it's possible that the level of consciousness of humanity was not ready yet at that point, assuming there was an Exodus, right? Assuming there was a burning bush. Assuming all that occurred. Let's assume that occurred. No given. But if it occurred, even so, they were not at the level of consciousness to take it much further than they did then. And they weren't ready for Summa. Summa's advanced warfare, so to speak. Advanced conscious warfare. Where high level consciousness, we can accept that there's not a strong deity out there protecting us and punishing us. That's one model. That model may have worked at 3,250 years ago. But now we're ready for a more subtle model. We're all part of divine. The entire cosmic order is divine. We were built out from that. That's a much more subtle dynamic. 3,250 years ago, they might just thrown them all in the sea. Goodbye, Mr. Moses. You're gone. You're out of here. Okay. There's a God of potential. He's going to take care of you. He'll watch you. It's a model of dependence. Now I'm saying polar opposite almost. Independence. There's nobody watching over us. We're watching over ourselves. As a universe, collectively, we advance. Yes, of course, 99.99% of what I do, take it out to 2,500 decimal points, affects just me. But maybe way out there to the 50th decimal point, it affects the cosmic order. And that it's not as if the God is there and we're here. If there is a God, it's more, we are divine ourselves. We're both human and divine. That's a whole conceptual leap. You say to yourself, "Oh, I'm not perfect. I'm not God. I'm not this. I'm not that." And I'm saying, no. Actually, you are. You're part of divine. And though you're part of divine, you're impacting the cosmic order. And though you're impacting the cosmic order and part of divine, you're tracking back to the Genesis point. Somehow your cosmic spirit is tracking right back there, or else you wouldn't be here. Or else we will not be here. These are profound, audacious propositions. You say, "What, me?" I say, "Yes, you." So maybe we were not ready for that level of play. Maybe even now we're not ready for that level of play. Right. But I'm pushing that envelope on that line of play. Because that line of play works. Was I myself ready for it 20 years ago? Probably not. Even my Summa 1 does not go all the way there, the way I'm talking now. So, and we're all impacted, when one part of humanity advances, typically another part of humanity is advancing simultaneously in the other part of the world. We all know, but there's a lot of spirituality in the world which no clear focus. People go to Tibet, people go here, people go there. They feel it, they sense it, but they can't articulate it. Basically true, right? You can't articulate. You sense something there, you sense something guiding, you can't quite articulate what it is. You don't know if it's just your imagination, you've been talked into it, it's cool, you don't know. I'm saying, no, it's very real. It's actually very real. But I'm reframing it. It's everywhere. You, Mr. Corey, are pure potential. Yes, you have a body and a mind, but you're pure potential. That's your place in the cosmic order. The modality is through your body. That's a modality. But you are potential. And when you think about it, it's very profound thinking. I'm not just Corey. I'm pure potential. I'm part of divine march and advance. And I'm part of the entire cosmic order. It's very empowering. You have to try not to get too carried away. And yes, we're both divine and human simultaneously. We oscillate. We oscillate. And you have to be both. You have to accept that you're divine and somewhat immortal. But to get along, you have to be very down to earth. Interact with other divine figures. You can't come in, I'm divine, that's what I want. You have to come in, I'm very down to earth. The more down to earth you are, frankly, the better, interpersonally. But in your mind, you have to accept, in the quiet moments, your divinity, transcending exactly how much money you're worth. You make it, transcending exactly how big your apartment is, transcending how much rejection you got from whoever. Because you're divine and eternal. These are profound propositions. I'm not saying just feel good. I'm saying because it works philosophically. It all works. And other schemas do not work. This one works. So until you show me a schema which trumps this, I like this schema. I'm not seeing a schema anywhere like this, which actually all the pieces fit together.